Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to another crafty decor adventure. Olivia or Olivia'sRemade.com, and in today's video I am over the moon excited to share with you guys 10 DIY Dollar Tree Christmas wreaths and garlands and ways to jazz up your home for the holidays. Listen, if you guys are new, I love to craft and decorate on a budget. I truly believe you don't have to break the bank to have a fabulous, amazing home. This is another episode in my huge I Love Christmas series. Listen, you guys keep up the good work crafting and decorating. Don't forget to follow me over on Facebook and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's totally free. I love to share with you guys so many different crafting and decorating ideas, always on a budget. So without further ado, go ahead and plug in those glue guns. Get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting.
I found this wreath on the Pier 1 website. It was $59.99, and I just knew that we could replicate it using some Dollar Tree supplies. So I'm starting out with this Dollar Tree wire wreath form, and I'm just going to wrap it with some of this white scrap ribbon. I've also done a similar wreath like this, and you can use the Dollar Tree automotive cloth as well if you don't have any white ribbon. I found this at the thrift store. And then I'm taking some ornaments that have been used multiple times, and I'm just going to hot glue them to the center wire part of the wreath form. Again, don't worry about the hot glue showing because we're going to use some bling wrap to wrap in and around the ornaments to kind of hide any of your work. So I ended up using about 2 sets of ornaments. I believe they come 10 to a pack, and these are kind of this champagne gold color, but you guys can use whatever ornaments you love. So here is how it should look once you get the first 2 rows glued on, and I just glued the first 2 top rows, and then I'm taking some bling wrap. I got this at totallydazzled.com, and I will leave a link down below for you guys. So I'm just going to hot glue the end of the bling wrap, and also you guys check the Dollar Tree crafts section because they do have bling wrap as well. So I'm just going to hot glue in between the ornaments, and this is really going to begin to hold those ornaments together even more. And I am using a high temp hot glue gun. I've tried to do this before with the low temp glue gun, and it's kind of tricky. Just be careful, try not to burn yourself. And then I'm taking the bling wrap and I'm looping it through this bottom part, and then I'm going to take some of my smaller Dollar Tree ornaments, and these are just little white ones, but just use whatever you guys have on hand, which is kind of what I did. And then I'm using some of the Dollar Tree mini ornaments, and then I just looked in my craft stash. I had these little silver clips. You can also find these in the Dollar Tree ornament section, the little clips. And then Dollar Tree also sells like little gold party beads. These I found at a thrift store, but I'm going to use these beads to really hide some more of my gluey work. So you're just going to hot glue them and kind of wrap them in and around the ornaments. This really is an extra step, but it makes it look so gorgeous. And also thank you guys if you have some little strands of pearls in your craft stash, which I know they sell at Hobby Lobby. I've also found them at my thrift store. That would look really pretty as well. I just grabbed the gold because this is kind of what I had on hand, and so I'm just going for it with this. But you're just going to hot glue in between all of the ornaments, and this should get everything on there really nice and secure. And then I'm going to go in with these pretty totallydazzled.com little jewels. They sent me a pack of jewels, and they're really inexpensive. They're about $1.50 each for a whole pack. I think $15 for about a pack of 10. So anyway, I added a couple of jewels, but also think about scrap jewelry that you have, maybe a broken earring or just some little scrap bling you can pop into this, and I'm absolutely over the moon in love with this. To be honest with you, I think we may have done even better than the Pier 1 wreath. Let me know what you guys think.
DIY. I want to share with you guys how to jazz up one of those Dollar Tree ho 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 Santa signs. So we're just going to take a Sharpie marker. This is super easy, you guys, and you're going to draw lines down the front of the little Santa hat. There's even kind of some little grooves you guys can see that you can follow along really easy, and you just got to draw one little line down the center. Now I'm taking some black acrylic paint and this little paintbrush. This is a smaller tip paintbrush. I get all of my paintbrushes at Walmart or Dollar Tree, and we're just going to paint. I just used one coat of acrylic paint, and I'm going to paint in the little lines, and I'm going to go every other one to create that Mackenzie Childs checkerboard look. Now, I will tell you that there is a layer of glitter on this Santa hat, and I didn't do anything to remove the glitter. I just painted right over it. The part of the Santa hat is a bit of a sponge, and it absorbed that acrylic paint just fine. So I didn't have any trouble with it. I just painted right on it, and it just turned out perfectly. I was really surprised. I thought I was going to have to scrub the glitter off and all that good stuff, but you guys know me. I love a bit of glitter, sparkle, and shine. Now, I usually love to drag a bit of white and gold through my Mackenzie Childs checks. I will tell you that the white and gold did not drag through how I usually like it to, so you may just want to skip that step. Now, I am taking this gold DECOR paint pen. You guys can get these at the craft store. You can order them online. You can skip this step. You can also get a gold paint pen at Dollar Tree, believe it or not. So this is just a little extra added detail step. It does make your work look a little bit nicer, and if you're like me and your hand can kind of wobble around, it does help clean up those lines really nice and neat and give it that detailed finish. But it's up to you. Again, you guys, you could also use a bit of gold paint, but I will tell you that this Deco Art, it's called Deco Art Premium Paint Pen. It gives a really nice finish. But again, you guys just go for it, have fun with it, and here is how it turns out. So this is the first DIY. If you guys just want to do the cute little Santa hat, set him out wherever you want. Now, here's the second step. If you guys want to go a step further, and here's another DIY. This is what you guys want to do if you want to make him a floating Santa, to add him into a garland, a wreath, or a swag is what we're going to do here. So you're going to flip him over, add a pipe cleaner to the back, and then I just use a Dollar Tree tag and add that on top of the pipe cleaner. Let that dry, and that's going to give you guys a way to attach him onto a garland, a wreath, whatever you guys want. Okay, so here's how I'm going to make this swag. This is kind of unconventional, and I'm really hoping it works out. It actually did end up working out. I'm going to take 2 Dollar Tree candy canes, layer them on top of each other, and then just take these little twist ties. They're the little pipe cleaners, and I'm going to pipe cleaner the 2 candy canes together. Now, if you guys want to run to Hobby Lobby and grab a beautiful swag, or take 2 garland pieces and tie them together, that will work great. I didn't have those on hand. I'm really forcing myself to use what I already have. I have a plethora of Christmas stuff that I want to use. I don't want to go out and spend more money, so comment if you're there with me. I'm taking these extra greenery pieces. They're really pretty pieces of greenery, but they're kind of odds and ends. I'm going to use them to cover my pieces of candy cane. I bought too many of these candy cane wreath forms at Dollar Tree, is where I got them. So I want to repurpose and reuse them. So I'm going to take and just add the garland onto here. Now I have this garland from Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to take the Dollar Tree garland and wrap them around these extra pieces of greenery to secure them on here. You could also use a pipe cleaner or some wire. However you guys want to get that greenery on there, attach it, baby. Whatever you guys want to use. I thought this garland would work perfectly because it's going to attach it, and it's also going to be to where you guys can't see it. So I'm covering the candy cane. I'm creating this swag effect because that ho 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 sign is kind of like, you know, it's going to kind of drop down, and then I'm going to want to add a bow to the top and the base, and I think it's going to be so adorable. I actually saw something similar to this online, and so I'm super excited to recreate it. The little creation that I saw online was like $140, but we're going to do this on a budget. So just continue to add your greenery, and again, don't panic if you guys don't have this. That's fine. You guys can create a little swag. Just take 2 pieces of garland, wire them together, use a wreath form, whatever you guys have on hand. Just get creative and go for it. Now the next step is for me to attach my little Santa and then kind of fluffy out my garland just a bit. Once he's securely on there, then I can begin to make my bow. So I'm going to set this part aside. I'm going to get out my Easy Bow Maker. These are amazing. You can buy them on Deco Exchange. You could also buy them at Michael's. Use your coupon. I bought mine on Amazon. It was a little bit more expensive. I suggest Deco Exchange. The next thing you want to do is find your ribbon. I'm using this ribbon. You can find this at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. Use your coupon. I'm going to add this to the base of my bow. This is going to be about 8 inches on either side. Then I'm going to add this beautiful Harlequin ribbon. This is from Amazon, but I know they have this cheaper at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, so I'm going to go 7 inches if you have the Easy Bow Maker on either side. So 8 inches for the first loop and then 7 inches for the second loop. In my home, I'm doing a candy cane theme on my big Christmas tree. I do have some Mackenzie Childs pieces and also some hand painted Mackenzie Childs dupes that I have done. So I really want to incorporate some candy cane and then also some black and white. The next ribbon I'm using is just some plain red satin ribbon. I got this on clearance last year at Michael's, and I'm going to go a little bit smaller, closer to about a 6-inch on either side for this loop on my ribbon. Again, dig into your craft stash. You use what you guys have. I'm then going to dovetail all my ends, which means I'm going to cut a little triangle in an upwards direction. I am going to dig out my Mackenzie Childs ribbon. I got this on the barn sale, which is a great deal. You guys can also use a Mackenzie Childs ribbon dupe. They have that on Amazon, or you can just grab the dupe from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to dovetail my ends by cutting that cute little triangle in an upwards direction, and I did get that even smaller with a 5-inch loop there. I'm then going to pull this up and then pinch it in the center, and then add my pipe cleaner to the center. The pipe cleaner is going to give me a spot where I can attach my pretty bow to my little garland swag. You guys could do this also in a wreath form. Whatever suits your fancy, go for it. So once I have my pipe cleaner attached, I'll want to really fluffy out my bow. I like to give it a little bit of a fluff before I attach it, and then once I have it attached, I even fluff it some more. The other thing I want you guys to remember is always try to look for ribbon that is wired. I did make 2 of these bows, one for the top and then one for the base. I attached a black and white ribbon, or a black and white ornament. You'll find those at Walmart, these black and white jumbo ornaments, and then a couple of little red and white ornaments. Those are both from Dollar Tree. And then there you have it. You guys have this super amazing, adorable swag. The other thing I did add in too were just a couple of little poinsettia picks from Walmart. So you guys have fun creating a super fun, adorable little swag. Go for it, get creative, and just have fun. The other thing that I wanted to let you all know that I added into this wreath were my little handmade DIY ornament lollipops. We made those out of some ribbon rolls. If you guys can see at the base, you just take a ribbon roll, you paint them white, and then you add some little Dollar Tree red stripe ribbon to those. So that's a fun little DIY that's super easy to make as well.
I think it comes out fabulous, and I will be needing to hang this kissing ball so I can catch Mr. Romantic. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to do super glam Christmas tree. I'm starting out with this little Halloween bucket that I got during the fall time that I had painted, and then I just added some styrofoam and added 2 Dollar Tree Christmas trees. They're great to just double up on. That gives them a little bit more fluff. And then I'm taking one of those Dollar Tree baby blankets, and I just kind of hot glue the baby blanket around the little tin, and then I added some chalk paint around the top of the little edges of the tree. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take a strand of fairy lights. You can find these at Dollar Tree or the Target Dollar Spot. And then I'm going to take some of that sparkling glam Dollar Tree tool, and I just cut it into strips, and I'm just tying it on to the little fairy lights. And this is so fun. You guys could add all kinds of scrap fabric to this. I did want to keep this fairly just simple because I am going to be adding a lot of ornaments on top of this. I decided to go ahead and string it into my little tree. So the tree is adorable on its own. If you're going for a very simple look, you could definitely leave it as is. But of course, you guys know me. I had to go totally over the top with this and go super glam. So I'm taking the fairy lights first, and I'm just working them in and around the little tree to kind of give it just that beautiful kind of whimsical feel. And again, remember, customize this to whatever colors you're using. And then I'm taking some of that Dollar Tree, it's just gold picks, and I'm taking some of it, adding it to the top, and then I'm adding in some of those scrap ornaments, and then some beautiful Dollar Tree poinsettias that I had added some little pearls to kind of finish it off. I did have some extra gold beads, so I decided to just hot glue some of those little gold beads to the end of this beautiful Christmas tree, and I am absolutely loving how glam and sparkling and fabulous this is turning out. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous is this looking? I did add some little junk jewelry to the top, and just think about all of the little fun goodies that you have laying around that you could add into your Dollar Tree Christmas tree to really razzle dazzle it up. So here it is, going in with the Glam Pier 1 dupe wreath, which again was a bunch of scraps really that I had just kind of laying around. And then here is that beautiful little kissing ball ornament. Oh my goodness, I'm over the moon excited for this. You guys know I love to decorate with so many different themes, but I'm definitely doing kind of a rustic glam chic theme throughout my studio area, and then probably into some areas of my home. And I cannot wait to start decorating for Christmas. It's coming in my home very soon. But as always, I ask you guys to comment and let me know what is your favorite DIY in this video. I love to hear what you guys have to say about my DIYs, and I love hearing your feedback. And then definitely let me know which ones will you guys be recreating? Which ones will you guys be trying your hand at? I just love to see all of your projects too that you guys have been posting on my Facebook group page and on Instagram.
We're on the fly and on a budget. So for the next DIY, I am going to do my mailbox outdoor decor, and I'm just going to use one of those Walmart garlands. Again, these are the flock garlands at Walmart, and they are $12 for the flock garland. And I do reuse my garland every year. It does really well. And I do just keep the outdoor ones separate from the ones that I use inside by bagging them or hanging them inside my crafting closet. So I'm taking it, I'm twisting it around the top, and then I'm just going to twist it around the base. For the life of me, I have lost my giant zip ties. So Mr. Romantic did come to the rescue with a big piece of tie that I was able to secure it to the base. Depending upon how much wind you guys get, I feel like that this is going to do okay. Because it is fairly secure. Now you're going to want to give your evergreen branches a good old-fashioned fluffing. That's going to make it look nice and poofy. I thought originally that I was going to use some poinsettias, but I didn't end up doing that. Now see, I am going to use this cording to just kind of secure it around the base. That's the only part that I thought it might get a little floppy. And I do have things kind of blowing around that I'm using. I do end up tidying that up, I promise. So I'm taking some of the Dollar Tree 21-inch deco mesh. And again, I'm just going to use the same method that I've been using throughout the season. You're going to secure it by taking your evergreen branches and twisting them over on themselves, and then pull them out in about a 12-inch poof, and then go to the next set of branches and twist them over on themselves, and just keep creating those little poofs. And there's really not a whole lot of rhyme or reason. I'm just kind of moving along the way that the evergreen branches lay. So, and there's Benji Bear, my little trusty helper. And I do have Mr. Romantic out there kind of helping watch me with him. He was having a ball, you guys. I cannot even tell you how much fun he was having outside. The weather was kind of doing this where it was kind of rustling the wind around with the leaves. And so he was having so much fun. So I'm just taking the deco mesh and then wrapping it in and around and then over my mailbox. And that was kind of the main piece of decor here. I wanted to kind of keep it pretty simple. The deco mesh should hold up against the winter weather. And then my next idea was just to add ornaments to this. I didn't want to get too crazy with the ribboning. I did a little bit too much ribboning on my fall decor, and the wind really got it. It was a little bit much. So I'm hoping with just doing a lot of deco mesh that will be good. And here he is. Say hi to Benji Bear. He is so rowdy. Gosh, I don't know if you guys can tell, but he is really, he's really going to town over here with me, having a blast with Mom. Okay, I did get this oversized jumbo outdoor ribbon. This was from Walmart. Dollar Tree also carries these, but I did have to go to Walmart super early in the morning to get ready for these DIYs. So my Dollar Tree doesn't open until later in the morning. So I did just go ahead and grab this from Walmart. And then I did add some ornaments to this. So these are just ornaments I already had on hand. I created ornament bundles by bundling 4 to 5 of these, and they're just completely random. You guys can see some of them are a little bit junky looking, but for outdoor decor, just bundle a bunch of ornaments together, call it good, pretend like you're in a Hallmark movie and have fun with it. So what do you guys think about this look? I think it's fun. I think hopefully it will stand up against the weather. I think it's on here pretty good. I love decorating my mailbox, and if you don't have a mailbox to decorate, that's okay. Just decorate anything that's not moving that's outside your house. Have fun with it. Go for it. Get creative. Use the colors that you guys love and just go for it. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to make a super adorable Santa hat wreath. So I'm just going to take this Santa hat and then one of the tinsel wreath forms from Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut 2 little tiny notches in the back, and the notches are going to be for me to take my pipe cleaner and wrap the pipe cleaner on the back of this. That way I can secure the little Santa hat to this. I've seen this on Pinterest, and you guys asked me to do one of these last year and I ran out of time. So I'm hoping that this will give you an idea on how to use this. So again, I'm just taking 2 pipe cleaners to attach the little Santa hat to this. And then I wanted my Santa hat to be a little bit poofy. We have to have a nice poofy Santa. So I'm going to add some Walmart bags down into the tip of the Santa hat just to give it a little bit of poofiness. And then the next thing I want to do is add in some foam. That way I can stick some goodies down inside of this. And think about this, you guys, really dig into your craft stash and use what you already have. So I'm trying to use a lot of the decor that I already have. So I added in some evergreen. I had a piece of evergreen that also had some berries on it. Again, I'm trying to kind of create a wreath look. I have a bunch of extra poinsettias, so I'm adding in some poinsettias and I'm just popping them in. And you may want to even secure them a little bit more by adding in some hot glue. Again, get creative and use what you guys have. The next thing I wanted to do was add some sparkle and shine by adding in some pretty red ornaments. I have a bunch of red ornaments left over from another project, and I did choose some of these shatterproof ornaments. I want to add this outside next to my house, so if they flop off, I don't want them to break. So I'm just adding some hot glue and then I'm popping them into my little Santa hat wreath. The next thing I wanted to do was take one of these Dollar Tree signs, and I secured the sign with some pipe cleaner cleaner on the back. That way I can pipe cleaner the sign into my evergreen. And this is just the ho 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 sign. I picked it up last season at Dollar Tree. The next thing I want to do is create a really quick little Olivia bow with some of this Dollar Tree polka dot ribbon. Again, I'm using what I already have on hand. I'm really beginning, honestly, to run low on ribbon, believe it or not, you guys. So to create an Olivia bow, you just take the ribbon and you loop it over on itself a couple of times. You cut a tiny notch in the center, and I will leave a big bow video down below for you guys. And then you're going to take the pipe cleaner and you're going to wrap the pipe cleaner around it to kind of secure it, and then you can pull those little loops out, and that's going to give you a really easy bow. It's going to make it really cute and boutique on a budget. Don't forget to cut and make your little edges on the bottom of your bow really nice and pretty, whether or not you dovetail them or just notch them, however you want to do that. Make it really nice and pretty, and then secure it to the edge of your Santa hat wreath. And here is how everything is looking. I decided to use the rest of the ribbon on the other side just to kind of offset my bow and tie everything in. And again, really get creative. Use what you guys have on hand and just pop in some little goodies here and there. This was so fun to create, and I was so happy I went ahead and went for it. And I even ended up adding in some little peppermint candies. I know a lot of you guys ask about where to get the peppermint candies. I found these at a garage sale, but I do believe that they have these at Hobby Lobby, and I know that Hobby Lobby is also selling online, so definitely check that out. So I popped it in next to my outdoor garland, and comment and let me know what you guys think. I also created a tobacco basket wreath, but I'm thinking that this little Santa hat wreath looks a little bit better as far as shape wise is concerned. The tobacco basket wreath is going to go in a different space in my home. It was just a little bit of an odd shape for it next to my front door. For the next DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make an over-the-top Christmas garland. I'm going to make this for my kitchen. I'm starting out with this flocked garland from Walmart, and I'm going to use this Dollar Tree deco mesh. It's 21-inch deco mesh, and then my little puppy dog popped out into my crafting studio, so I had to give him some loving little Benji bear. He's my little buddy. And so I'm just taking this deco mesh and I'm looping it into my garland. So I'm just taking the evergreen branches and crossing them over on themselves, and then I'm pulling out about 10 to 12 inch poofs, and that's all you guys do. So you just take the deco mesh, pull it out and to make a little poof, and then you take the evergreen branches and cross them over on themselves. And so it's really easy peasy. Don't be afraid of the deco mesh. And then if you can't find the deco mesh at Dollar Tree, you could also pop into your craft store. I believe it's about $5 for a roll with your half off right now. All the Michaels and Hobby Lobby pretty much has all their Christmas half off. So check there. Walmart is even carrying deco mesh, so you guys should be able to find it pretty easy. For the next DIY, I'm going to make a big, easy bow with my Easy Bow Maker. I'm going to start out with this really pretty ribbon. This is just some wired red ribbon. I got it on clearance last season at Michael's. I'm going to make a big bow, and I'm going to go back and forth with about an 8-inch loop. Now you can get an Easy Bow Maker on Deco Exchange. I believe they also sell them at Michael's Craft Store. You can use your coupon. So the next thing I want to do is take this Harlequin ribbon from Hobby Lobby. So you can check Hobby Lobby for some really inexpensive kind of Mackenzie Childs dupe ribbon. A lot of you guys have asked me about that. I love Mackenzie Childs patterns. They're so fun and whimsical. And then I'm going to go a little bit smaller and do a 7-inch loop. Now, I love to use wired ribbon. I really suggest that. That's going to give you really nice high-end boutique bows. And then the next one I wanted to go in with was a candy cane ribbon. So I'm going to go a little bit smaller with more of like a 6-inch, a little bit less than a 6-inch on this one. Now I will tell you that this candy cane ribbon was not the best quality, but it does come on a big roll. And if you guys love to go over the top and decorate and do it on a budget, you guys are going to get a lot of bang for your buck with the Hobby Lobby ribbon. I believe it's $9.99 and you get like 50 feet or even 75 feet. So it's actually way cheaper than Dollar Tree. Now, my big splurge on this bow was the Mackenzie Childs ribbon. This is actual Mackenzie Childs ribbon, but I did get it on the barn sale, so it was completely half off. And so look for their barn sale. They do it once a year, and everything, the majority of their stuff is half off. It's really expensive stuff, so you have to save up, and then you'll have a little splurge once a year. Okay, so now that I've got my bow all the way finished, I'm going to very quickly take it off. Now, you are supposed to pop a pipe cleaner down into your Easy Bow Maker. I always forget to do that, but you can add it at the end. It's easier if you add it at the beginning, but go ahead and twist your little pipe cleaner on, and then you can begin to fluffy out your bow. Now that's really the key to having a really nice bow, is to begin to pull your loops out and really fluff them up really nicely. Now be careful when you're fluffing your bow. If you pull too hard, your loops will pull out. So now that we have our deco mesh added to our garland, we're just going to take it in. This is my little Christmas kitchen. I'm going to add it to the top of my little vintage Hoosier cabinet, and I'm just going to basically pop it over my cabinet. Now, if you don't have a cabinet, you could add it to the top of a shelf or maybe on top of your little kitchen cabinets. And then I just have a couple little nails on either side, and I kind of secured it to the nails. Then I'm going to add my cute little bows to either side of my garland, and I just have that pipe cleaner that I'm going to tie that on, and then I'm going to give it a nice good fluffing once I have my bows on. Again, that's the secret to my bows. I always tell you guys that, is to really give it a nice good fluffing, fluff them up. I love big bows, and I cannot lie. Now that I have my little garland on, it's time to do some decorating. I went ahead and added my cute little whimsical picture back into my kitchen. So this is going to go above my kitchen cabinet, and then I'm adding in my little teapot. I actually don't use this teapot, so it's more for decor purposes. Now, my big pot here, I do use that, and then my mixing bowl, we use that almost every day. I did find the little candy striped canister at the thrift store, as well as I DIY'd that little gingerbread goodie, and then the other gingerbread house I found at the thrift store as well. And you can see I'm starting to kind of rearrange things. Now, the gingerbread street sign, I did get that at Hobby Lobby, but it was super inexpensive. Now, for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make an ornament bundle. My friend Ramon at home actually is kind of the king of ornament bundles, but basically you can take wire or a pipe cleaner, and you just take and you string ornaments on to the pipe cleaner or wire, and that's going to give you just a big nice ornament bundle, and you can tie that on to a garland, a wreath, or whatnot. Now, I will give you a little tip with these ornament bundles. You want to keep them somewhat loose, because if you get them too tight, your ornaments will pop off. And I will also tell you, I don't know if you guys remember, we did this DIY on the Dollar Tree witch legs. I popped that into my little kitchen cabinet. Another little DIY tip I have for you guys right here is to take and hot glue your ornament top to your ornament. That's going to keep your ornament bundle tops from popping off. Now, here is how my kitchen cabinet looks after I popped in just a couple of lollipops, and I did make another set of bows. The other thing I am going to give you guys an idea to do is I did add in a couple of teacups into my little display here. So that's a fun idea for you guys to do. Get creative, add in some teacups, add in some more. I'm going to share with you guys how I'm going to do this over the top garland for my little shelf back here. I'm taking this white, it's just a garland that I had from years ago. I got it at Michael's, and then I'm using this Dollar Tree deco mesh. This is the 21-inch deco mesh from Dollar Tree, and what I'm doing is I'm just taking the little evergreen branches that are in this little garland, and I'm crossing the branches over on themselves twice, and that's going to secure my garland in. Now you could always use some pipe cleaners or some wire if you want to secure it even further, but because this is inside, I'm not too worried about it moving around or going anywhere. So just continue to cross the branches over on themselves, and then you're going to pull the deco mesh out and make about a 10 to 12 inch poof, and then just continue to move your way down the garland, making those poofs. And the poofs don't have to be perfect. The garland is very forgiving, and so is that deco mesh, so don't be afraid of it. Now I did attach 2 command strips on either side of my shelf just to make sure that the garland didn't really wiggle around or come flying off, and we'll see how it does. I've definitely lost some garlands here and there. But so far, so good. And then I'm just twisting the garland on top of that. Now, I happened to pop by an estate sale that seems to be running like every weekend. So I don't know, it seems like more of like a little bit of an antique garage sale. But I picked up these beautiful greenery pieces. And so I'm going to pop them into the center piece of this. And I'm just twist tying them on with the evergreen branches. That's all I did really to secure this. They're a bit weighted, and so I think it will be fine. You could always hot glue them, or you could add in a piece of wire if you felt you needed to. I also am adding in a larger leaf just to give it a little bit of some rustic glam. The next thing I wanted to do was take 3 different ribbons here, and this is some bling wrap, and then just some gold ribbon, and then this really pretty lace kind of white ribbon. So I'm taking them all 3 together, and then I'm going to cross the branches over on themselves, and then I'm going to kind of pull them and swag them over. So I've shown this method to you guys before on a Christmas tree, but I thought it'd be fun to try it on a garland. And you'll just want to take your little ribbon pieces and kind of arrange them. I'm going to leave a link in my description box below for you guys on where I get my bling. It's super inexpensive bling, and they're wonderful. It's called totallydazzle.com, and they're amazing and so inexpensive. So the next thing I want to do is use my Easy Bow Maker, and I love the Easy Bow Maker. The best place to buy it is from Deco Exchange, and you could also buy it on Michael's Craft Store, I believe, and use your coupon too. Okay, so you're just going to take and you're going to pop in at the little pipe cleaner and then add your ribbon. And for this bow, I'm going to use a 7-inch ribbon. I'm just going to move back and forth and make my ribbon about an inch smaller each time I move back and forth. So you can see the little prongs in the center are kind of holding my ribbon together. That's what makes it so easy, especially if you have problems with your hands. It really is an easy bow maker. Now I do show another method to you guys where I use the Olivia bow, and that's a really great method as well. And I'll leave that bow video for you guys down below. That's my little personal method too that I love to use. It just depends on what I'm in the mood for and what kind of bow I'm looking for. I do love this bow because I can get kind of a layered look with this one. And so now I'm just going to pop this off, but first you'll take your pipe cleaner and kind of cinch it in, and then you can pull that bow off. And then the next thing I want to let you guys know is you really want to give your bow a really good fluffing. I'm going to tell you that that's really going to be the secret to your bow, to give it a nice good fluffing, and that's going to make a really pretty bow. Now try not to obsess over it because everybody's bow is going to be a little bit different, and you might want to pop it into your garland or wreath and then fluff it some more because it is going to look different once you get it into whatever project you're making. So here's another speeded up version of this same bow. I'm going to create 2 of these bows, one for each end of my garland. I want to share with you all another bow that you can make with your Easy Bow Maker, and this is going to be another layered bow, except for I'm going to use two different types of ribbon. So for this bow, I'm going to start out and I'm going to go 7 inches across with my ribbon. Don't forget to dovetail your ends by cutting your pretty little triangle in an upwards direction. That's going to give your bow a really pretty boutique finish. And then I'm going to layer in another ribbon, and this is that pretty gold ribbon, and I'm just going to alternate each ribbon each time. And I'm going to leave these a little bit longer, so I'm still doing 7 inches across with this gold ribbon because I want the loops to be bigger. This is going to be my center point bow, so I want it to be really over the top. You guys know I love over the top. Now I'm adding in that pretty white ribbon, and again, this I've got to dovetail those ends, and then I'm going to then begin to making my ribbon just a little bit smaller. So this is going to be about a 6-inch loop now over here. Continue to add as many ribbons as you want. I think I did about 6 ribbons on this one, and adding gold and then white and then gold and then white, and dovetailing each ends on each ribbon tail, because those tails are really going to show, and you can curl your tails, you can fluff your tails, however you want them to look. It's just going to give a really nice, beautiful, whimsical bow. It does take up quite a bit of ribbon to do this bow if you do decide to do this big of a bow. This bow is also an amazing tree topper. I share this with you guys all the time. I used it on my Christmas tree, so I love this. And again, I'm using my Easy Bow Maker. You guys can get it on Amazon. That's the most expensive place. I actually don't recommend getting it there. Deco Exchange probably has the best deal on it, so definitely check there for it. Okay, so once you guys have all of your ribbon loops on there, you're going to want to go ahead, and if you forgot to put your pipe cleaner in like I did, you can just go ahead and pull it off and then add your pipe cleaner last. So I'm just going to remove all the ribbon loops and add in my pipe cleaner to secure it, and then twist tie that on the back. Super easy right here. And then you're going to give it a really nice, good fluffing. And again, you guys know I always tell you this is really the secret to the bow, is how you pull those loops out and fluff it, and try to give yourself some grace. Keep working at it, keep going for it. I know bow making can be a little bit tricky. So the next thing I do is go ahead and add it to the center part of my garland here. And then once I get my bow on here, a lot of times you guys don't see this, but I go back in and fluff my bow multiple times. I'm telling you, it does not come out just as easy peasy sometimes as you guys see it in a video. I promise you, I do have to do a lot of fluffing and arranging and all of that good stuff. So I'm adding in my center point bow, and then I added in a gold bow to either side of my garland. And I realized once I did this garland, it really almost looked like something that you guys would see for a bridal celebration. So I guess for our Thanksgiving table, we're going to have a bit of a bridal celebration. It's going to be a romantic Thanksgiving. That's what it's going to be. Okay, so right now while I'm putting these bows on, I'm going to tell you guys I have a secret question for this video. I am giving away 4 Amazon gift cards. The secret question for this video is, what is your favorite Christmas movie? So comment down below and let me know, what is your favorite Christmas movie? That's going to enter you into the 4 Amazon gift card giveaway, and I'm going to announce that on this next video this Thursday. So I'm adding in my pretty little reindeer. Again, I got that at the estate sale, and then at the thrift store I found these little candles, and then I love these battery operated candles. I get them on Amazon. I'll leave a link to my Amazon store down below. I'm adding in some beautiful Dollar Tree poinsettias, and then these pretty little white roses. You guys can buy a 30 pack of these white roses. Now they are foam roses, I will tell you, but I think it's like $13 for 30 of them. They're so great for crafting. They're one of my secret weapons when I was selling on Etsy. I would use them in so many different decor pieces to really fill things out. So it doesn't bother me that they're foam. It's just me and my family here. Now, of course, it does look nicer when you spend a little bit more on the high-end ones, but these are great. They look really nice, and you're going to be able to reuse these multiple times. So here is how it came out. So over the top and glamorous. Oh, so glam. Thank you guys to everybody that voted on my Instagram poll and voted for a glam garland DIY. I think we are killing it, and it is very rustic, glam, chic. So fun to add just something different after I've been doing so many just kind of really whimsical and fun candy cane themes, which I absolutely love. But I thought we would go for a different theme in my dining room, which I always talk to you guys about doing different themes in the different rooms. And so I've kind of done that, I guess, a little bit this year. I went candy cane in my living room. Now we're doing DIY. I'm going to take this thrift store wreath. It's just a grapevine wreath. And you can see I have my creative director in the studio, BINGE Bear, helping me figure things out. I'm going to take this bundle of Dollar Tree poinsettias. I ended up using about 3 to 4 bundles of white poinsettias, and I'm going to leave them on their stem. Actually, I'm just going to hot glue the entire stem and then poke them into the wreath, the grapevine base. You can tell kind of along the base where I pulled off the old decor. So I was able to find it for about $3, but they do sell grapevine wreath bases at Walmart for about $4 to $5 if you all need one and want to recreate this. So now I'm just going to hot glue another bundle of poinsettias to the top of this wreath. For this wreath, I wanted to go for something a little bit more elegant and kind of traditional. Now I'm going to take some red poinsettias that I had left over from another craft, and I'm actually going to break these apart to give me a little bit more control over where these go. So again, I'm just hot gluing the ends of them and then popping them into the wreath. So what I encourage you all to do is to kind of dig into your Christmas stash and see what you already have on hand to create a lovely Christmas wreath. You don't necessarily have to go out and buy all brand new supplies, but maybe you already have some beautiful florals. Another tip I have for you guys is to pop into some of your Valentine's Day florals. A lot of times I'll use red roses in some of my Christmas crafting. So now I'm going to whip out my easy bow maker, and I'm going to use some Dollar Tree ribbon, and I'm going to create a really giant bow. This is a larger wreath, so I'm going to use the 8-inch marker on this. A lot of you all ask where I get my easy bow maker. I actually ordered mine on Amazon. It was a little bit more expensive there. So I do suggest finding it on Deco Exchange. Also, I've had questions about whether or not the little prongs stay in. I took some E6000 glue and just glued mine in, and I don't have any problem with them popping out. So just a little trick for you there. So I'm starting out with this Dollar Tree ribbon. It's always wired ribbon that I use. I went for the red kind of plaid ribbon, and then now I'm going with the gold ribbon. And again, I'm doing an 8-inch across and then a little bit smaller, more like a 7.5-inch for the gold ribbon. You can see I'm dovetailing my ends, which means I'm cutting a little triangle in the ends. I'm going in a little bit smaller with a 6-inch loop on this next ribbon. I ran out of ribbon on my plaid ribbon, so now I'm going in more with gold. I kind of wanted to challenge myself to see if I could make this with all Dollar Tree product, which I pretty much did. At the very end, though, I did pull out some of my Mackenzie Childs ribbon that I had left over from the fall time. I did shop their barn sale, and I splurged on some pretty ribbon, and I did pop that in to the very end. But the majority of this is all Dollar Tree. So I'm tying this on with some Dollar Tree mesh ribbon because it is a little bit of a thicker wreath, and so I wanted to make sure that it was really on there really well. And you can also use floral wire. That will work as well. So here's where we're at so far. Now, if you just like the kind of pared back look, you could obviously stop here. I know a lot of you all don't like things super fancy, or maybe you do. So I just always want to give you guys an option. Me personally, I like a lot of stuff on my wreaths, so pretty much everything in the kitchen sink. So I go for more. Now, here's a little trick I wanted to share with you guys that you can do. You can take the Dollar Tree large ornaments. Okay, you pop the top off, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hot glue onto the top, and you're going to want to hot glue a piece of garland down inside of your ornament. And I'll tell you why. This is going to be a great way to get your ornament to stay inside of your wreath. So these are like little garland ties. And this was just a little trick that I kind of came up with. So push that down inside of there, and that will get your ornament to stay. And here's my creative director popping in again. He really wants to make sure that we're adding enough red and gold in the right spots. He decided that we needed more white poinsettias there. So he was telling Mom exactly where things needed to go. You know, I need all the help I can get, guys. And Benji Bear is definitely the best creative director I could ever ask for. And let me tell you, he is really good at getting into stuff. So here's what we have so far, and it's looking kind of crazy so far, let me tell you, but we're going to make this look very high end on a budget as always. And again, I'm sharing with you guys how you can take and pop that piece of garland twist tie down in there. You can also just hot glue your ornaments directly onto your wreath. With a grapevine wreath base though, that can be a little bit tricky because they do need something to adhere to. So you can see I did some of that, but then with the larger ones, I really wanted to get them in there really well. So I suggest trying the little evergreen branch trick. Try it and see if you guys like it. It just might be something you go with. Okay, so now I'm going to use a little bit of some more ribbon. So I'm adding some extra ribbon. I had 2 more rolls, so I used 2 rolls for my big bow, and then I used another roll for the extra ribbon. So you can see I'm just adding some little loops down here at the base. So you just take and you make a loop, and then you swing some tails over here. Just kind of swoop them and swing them. Swoop and swing. That's a new wreath technique we have here over at Olivia's Romantic Home. We're going to swoop and swing again. So I'm just taking this, and I just made one little loop here, and then I'm going to swoop and swing again with my tails. Just a fun little trick to add in more ribbon. So what we're doing is we're just pulling in more ribbon to that side. I hope you guys like how this is turning out so far. My idea for this was to do kind of an elegant, like maybe something that you would see, you know, at Macy's, you know, that has a lot of reds and golds in that traditional plaid. That was my idea. Now here it is where I added in some of that Mackenzie Childs ribbon, just to kind of, what I wanted to do was pull in the whites, and then also, you know, my love of Mackenzie Childs. What I suggest for you guys is to pull in a color that you love. So you could go with those traditional reds and golds, or you guys could pull in any color that you love. You could stick with the red and gold, or maybe you do blue and gold, do all blue and gold. Maybe you do pink and gold, do all pink and gold. Really, you guys can customize this to suit your fancy. These are just my ideas and the things that I love, and the things that I create is really what I decorate my home with for the most part. So I like to use the ribbons that I love. Now here it is all set up in my little Christmas crafting studio. I will begin decorating my home next week for Christmas, so I cannot wait to share a lot of my crafts, where I'm going to be putting them. I'm so excited.
For the first Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to make a super adorable Santa hat wreath. So I'm just going to take one of those witch hat wreaths that I bought during Halloween, and I'm going to remove all of the tinsel, and then I'm going to take my scissors and remove the little clips on the edge. And then I'm going to take this red Dollar Tree deco mesh, and I'm just going to wrap the entire hat with the deco mesh. This did take one entire roll, and I kind of doubled it up as I went along, and then I hot glued at the base and then hot glued it at the top. Then I'm going to take some white Dollar Tree deco mesh, and I cut it in about 12 to 16 inch long pieces, and then I just made this little curl, and I ended up using 4 rolls of the white Dollar Tree deco mesh, and I made bundles of 2. So you're just going to roll them up into these little curls, use a pipe cleaner and pipe cleaner them together, and that's going to give you a bunch of fluffy little bundles. And then you're going to take those bundles and you're going to just begin to attach them to the base of the witch hat wreath, and I attach mine in that little center rung. So on the ends of your witch hat wreath, you're going to apply 2 bundles, and then all throughout the rest of it, you're going to apply 4 bundles per section. Comment and let me know if you guys have questions on that. I also did a witch hat wreath for you guys during Halloween that was very similar, as well as a scarecrow hat wreath. So this is going to be super fun to make. I've kind of been prepping you guys for this, sharing with you guys that we're using the deco mesh and then also those little witch hat wreaths. And then you're going to take a little bundle and you're going to tie that to the top. And then I'm going to take and make a cute little candy stripe bow. I just had this bow left over from last season, so I'm making a little double layered Olivia bow. You'll just take and loop the ribbon over on itself and then twist tie it off. And then I'm going to use some of that mesh tubing. I thought would be super fun. I'm just going to kind of double it over on itself and make kind of like a little loopy bow, and then cut it with the scissors. And then I'm going to add that to the center of my little candy cane bow just to give it a little bit of dimension. I thought this mesh tubing was so super duper fun. I also did add a little bit of red ribbon and silver ribbon to the center of this, and then I did just apply the bow to the base of the little Santa hat, and here it is all sparkling and oh so ready for a Santa Claus visit. So totally, you guys keep up the good work. For the first Dollar Tree DIY, I want to take 3 of the Dollar Tree mini trees and then this silver spray paint. What I want to do is just spray paint kind of the tips of the Dollar Tree mini trees. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of a Mod Podge and chalk paint mixture. And I'm going to add that to the tips of the trees. I want to give these trees that really beautiful flocked Christmas tree look. And then I'm adding even just a little bit more glam by adding some glitter. And then I want to pop them into this little planter. I found this at the thrift store for $3, you guys. You could also use a little old toolbox or even a little crate. So I'm just popping the trees in with the stands on. And then I want to go ahead for the next Dollar Tree DIY. I want to razzle dazzle up their little red bows. So these are the large red Dollar Tree bows. I'm taking some buffalo check plaid ribbon. I found this at Hobby Lobby, but they also have it at Walmart, super inexpensive. And I'm just hot gluing at the front part of the bow and then onto the back. And so you could stop there if you wanted to, but I decided to make some tails on this bow. I thought it was a really great way to fancy up a bow. I haven't been able to find these bows for less than between $3 and $10 all fancied up. And for those of you guys that maybe are in a hurry or don't like to make bows, I think this is a great idea to fancy up your bow. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some tails to the bow by hot gluing the back of the ribbon, and then I'm adding 3 tails. So I added 1 to the side and then now 1 to the center, and I'm just going to take and dovetail my ends. So you're just going to cut upward in the scissor motion, and you're going to give that nice little boutique finish on your bow. And then I want to add 1 more tail, so I'm just hot gluing it and then dovetailing that in, and voila, you have an absolutely fabulous and gorgeous bow. And this to me is a very high end, something you would see at a TJ Maxx or at your more high end decor store like a Mackenzie Child. And really, we did it for only a couple of dollars, and it's going to be super easy to pop into a Christmas tree, a wreath, or even a floral arrangement. For the next DIY, I want to take some of that puny garland. Dollar Tree sells it, and so does Walmart. I happened to get 50 foot at the thrift store for only $1, and so I'm going to take it and lightly dust it with this silver spray paint. I would actually probably choose a flat white spray paint for this, but silver is what I had on hand, and I thought it would kind of give it a little bit of a rustic glam chic look. And so you could stop there, but I did decide to go a little bit over the top and add in some of that Waverly chalk paint. I just chalk painted the tips of the little garland. Again, you could also get some of that snow flocking, but I've heard it's kind of toxic, and so I've really been wanting to try chalk paint on the evergreen, and I've tried it on a couple of things and it's really worked so far. So comment and let me know if you guys have done this. This was a bit of work, but I thought it came out really pretty and it gave it that really pretty snowy effect. So I'm gonna add it in to this planter where I started with the 3 little Christmas trees. Again, I really want to do a rustic glam chic kind of arrangement here, and so I decided to pop the bow in over to this one side of the arrangement, and then I just tied the little bow on into the center of the arrangement and then onto the other side. Now this floral is actually pretty big, so it would go more in like an entryway table, and then I added in some little thrift store red ornament balls, and then I also added in some silver sparkling ones as well, and I felt like that the Dollar Tree trees needed a little bit of fluff, so I just added some pieces of the garland onto the tops of the trees, and here is the entire arrangement. I think it looks absolutely fabulous, and you guys can find some really cute little candy cane ornaments at your Walmart.
Some of your garlands and wreaths, so it's a really great way to get a little bit more bang for your buck. So for the next DIY, I'm going to take this tobacco basket. I actually did get this from Dollar General. You guys ask me this all the time, and I reuse it for every season. So I just have a piece of styrofoam, and I'm using a little Dollar Tree garland tie. I'm going to tie in that styrofoam piece. I also added hot glue, but the hot glue isn't doing much. And then I'm just taking this piece of greenery. It's some old thrift store greenery. I'm challenging myself to not spend any more money on Christmas decor and use what I have. So I'm using this little Dollar Tree Santa Stop Here sign. It's so adorable, and it's the perfect size for this little tobacco basket, little wreath that we're going to make, or a little decor piece, I guess. The next thing I want to share with you guys is a cute little hack, is you can take a floral stem, bend it in half, and then add some hot glue to either piece here. Take it and pop it into a piece of styrofoam that you're trying to secure, maybe some greenery or whatever you're trying to secure into that piece, and that is going to hold it in there. So that's what I'm going to use actually to hold in this piece of greenery to this tobacco basket. So there's a little hack for you guys. I also want to remove these pine cones because I didn't want my sign to stick out any more than it already was. So there you guys have it for that. So once you get your greenery in, you can take some poinsettias, or again, whatever you have on hand. I'm really trying to push myself again to use what I already have. If you guys are like me, you have a lot of Christmas supplies. And so with the outdoor stuff too, I really feel like it's best to use what you already have as much as you can. It is fun to buy new stuff as well. So I am just flanking this on either side with some poinsettias, and then I'm using these cute little ornaments. These are shatterproof. It's good to try to use shatterproof as much as possible. Dollar Tree carries shatterproof ornaments that are great for this purpose. Okay, so for the next DIY, I'm just going to take some of this peppermint candy cane ribbon, and I am almost out of this ribbon. I did my large living room tree in this ribbon. I'm using my easy bow maker, and I'm just going to make a quick little bow. Again, I'm running out of this ribbon, so I'm eking out this little bitty last bit. I believe it's a 6-inch bow on either side. A lot of you ask where I get my easy bow maker. I got this on Amazon, but it's way cheaper on Deco Exchange, so go check it out there. Okay, so I'm popping in this white ribbon. This is from Hobby Lobby. It goes a long way, but it's not the best quality. However, I love to use tons of ribbon, so it worked for me. And then I just had this bow get a little bit smaller as I was going along. Now you are supposed to lay down a pipe cleaner first, but I always just end up adding mine last. Don't ask me why. I think I just get in such a hurry. The next thing I want to do is pop this into the base of my little floral wreath thing, and you can do that by tying it on with your pipe cleaner. I tied a quick little loopy bow. You just take some loops of ribbon and loop them over on themselves, and then I'm going to tie it off with a pipe cleaner, and then I'm going to add that to the top of my little tobacco basket wreath, and then that is going to offset it and just give it a little bit of dimension and kind of carry your eye through to the top. And again, you can just pull out some of the ornaments that you may already have floating around in your ornament box, which I have quite a few still that I really need to use up. and I have been binge watching Hallmark movies today while I'm crafting and making these videos for you guys. So comment and let me know, what is your favorite Hallmark movie? That is going to be the secret question I'm actually giving away for Amazon gift cards. So definitely comment down below and let me know, what is your favorite Hallmark movie, because I need some more Hallmark movies to make for the garland. I'm going to take this really nice ribbon from Hobby Lobby. So this is what they call more of a luxury ribbon. It was a little bit pricier, but all of their ribbon is half off. So I think I paid maybe $10 for the entire roll, and it came with 30 yards for the entire roll. So I'm going to use my Easy Bow Maker, and I did order mine off of Amazon, but it's so much cheaper on Deco Exchange. So definitely check that out. I think they're like $15 maybe. So I'm just going to go loop to loop on either side, and I did make this a little bit larger than I should have. I would say 7 inches and then go 6 inches, and then don't forget to dovetail those ends by cutting a triangle in an upwards direction. Now I am using this Mackenzie Childs ribbon, and I did get it half off by shopping their barn sale. You can find a Mackenzie Childs ribbon dupe on at Hobby Lobby or also on Amazon, so check there. They have some really pretty Harlequin ribbon and some pretty dupes. You could also use buffalo check plaid ribbon in place of this ribbon as well. Take your pipe cleaner and tie that off, and then give your bow a good fluffing and get it ready to put into your garland. So I usually pre-fluff my bow, and then once I put it into my garland, I will fluff it again. So for the next DIY, I already put up my garland outside of my door, and a lot of you all ask me how I attach it. I'll tell you, I just have a nail in the side of my house. I also have a command strip, but my command strip fell down. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I bought one that has a heavier weight to it, but anyway, so I'm taking my deco mesh, and this is a 21-inch Dollar Tree deco mesh, and I'm just making 10 to 12-inch poofs. You take your evergreen branches and you cross the evergreen branches over on themselves, and then you pull your mesh out and make a poof. It's so easy, you guys. I promise you can totally do it. So you make your poof and you cross the evergreen branches over on itself, and you just keep on poofing away. The next thing I want to do is add some pretty ribbon, and I do have this beautiful Mackenzie Childs ribbon. Again, I got this on their barn sale. It was really nice and inexpensive on the barn sale. So you guys will have to check that out whenever that rolls around again. But again, you can find some nice dupes on their ribbon at Hobby Lobby or Amazon, or some buffalo check plaid ribbon also will kind of work for that. But whatever ribbon you choose, have fun with it. And then you're just going to take and make about 12-inch poofs, and you're going to run your ribbon around your pretty garland and get creative. Use whatever ribbon you have on hand and whatever decor style that you absolutely love. Now that bow that we just made, I'm going to add that to the center part of my garland, and so I'm going to add it to the center, and then I'm going to add one to each side and then one to the other side. So that's going to get me going, and then that will don't forget also to go ahead and fluff your bow. I almost forgot to tell you guys that, the most important part. And I realized once I started watching this back, I may have gotten my bow a little bit off center, but hindsight 2020, or in the camera 2020 as well. Now here's that little Dollar Tree pre-made bow, and I'm telling you guys, those bows are amazing to really fill out your garland. So you can see I put one on either side. See how big that is? That's really going to help you out. It's going to save your ribbon and make it fun and fabulous. Now for the next DIY, we're going to make some quick little ornament bundles on the fly. Just take your pipe cleaner and some shatterproof ornaments. These little ornaments are from Dollar Tree, and you're just going to run the pipe cleaner through several of your ornaments, create a bundle, and tie that on to your little garland. It's such a great way to make it look a little bit more fancy on the fly and on a budget. Now I'm adding some poinsettias, those little poinsettia bundles that I shared with you guys at DIY on. I added one to the top on the right side and one to the top on the left side. And for whatever reason, that one on the left side just wanted to slouch. I ended up having to add another extra bundle up top, and it still was floppy. So you guys know that garlands just take some time. Now you guys can see I added in some roses, and I also added in some peppermint ornaments, and they were a little bit wonky. So I'm gonna have to go in and kind of play with those. Garlands do take a lot of kind of playing with, and so I did all this in one day, including the reindeer and all of these DIYs. So anyway, comment and let me know, what was your favorite DIY in this video, and which one will you be recreating? I love to hear what you guys are up to. I love seeing everybody's DIY, all of your crafty decor projects in my Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook group page. You guys are totally killing it over there. Wow. I am so impressed with everybody's crafting and decorating and all of your beautiful Christmas trees and wreaths and garlands and everything that you guys are making. And the biggest thing that I'm the most impressed with is how kind everybody is to one another. All of your precious comments truly, truly mean the world to me, and I know to everybody else that's on there. We need to bless one another as much as we can, because kindness really, it means so much, and it's just a gift that we can give, and it's totally free. So I love y'all to the moon and back. Don't forget to comment the answer to my secret question I asked it earlier in this video. I love y'all. I can't wait for the next video, and just keep up the good work. And I'm going to add this Walmart garland to it. So it's about $13 at Walmart. It's a flocked garland, and I'm just kind of winding it in and around this bike, and I'm going to call this a DIY on the fly. I'm just adding the garland, and I'm just securing it by twist tying the branches to the little bike edges, and then I'm going to take some of this 21-inch mesh from a Dollar Tree. But I will tell you guys right now, pretty much every craft store has deco mesh half off, so it makes it about $5 for one of the 21-inch rolls. And then I'm just taking the deco mesh, and what you do is you take the evergreen branches that are on your garland and you cross them over on the deco mesh, and then you pull the little bundles out, as you guys can see right here, into about 12-inch poofs, and that's all you guys do. So you pull it out into a poof, and you cross that evergreen over onto itself, and then you pull it out into another poof, and it's really not hard. And this is what I call like a DIY on the fly. You just go for it, throw that garland up, add some deco mesh, and hope for the best. Really, truly, I'm kind of getting towards the end of my decorating in my outdoor space, so I'm really trying to use up what I already have. Now I'm making ornament bundles, and you guys have seen me make these. You just take a pipe cleaner and you put some ornaments on there. So I've got gold ornaments, red ornaments. I added a bunch of those, and I added some of the leftover Mackenzie Childs ribbon that I had added to my front door garland. We stacked our really cool little presents on here, and Nene even made a cute little candy cane out of some leftover duct tape. She totally rocked it. We added a little Merry Christmas Dollar Tree sign to the top of this, and I think we killed it on our little DIY on the fly front little garden bicycle decor.
Thank you guys so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. It is a true blessing and an honor to have you all here. If you all are new, welcome. I'm Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home, and I'm a DIY crafty mama. I love to share with you guys how you can make your homes boutique gorgeous on a budget. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, punch that bell, and click all. It will update you every time I post a new video, and I try to share 3 videos a week with you guys on YouTube, as well as several a day over on Facebook, just to keep you guys inspired to craft and decorate. And I love decorating my home seasonally, and I love sharing my ideas with you guys. And remember, you guys can always change these up, change up the ribbons and the paint colors to suit your home decor, so you can take my ideas and run wild with them. Hey, listen, I also want to encourage you guys to keep up the good work no matter where you're at in life, whether it be through your crafting, decorating, your personal life. Keep putting one foot in front of the other, because there's always a silver lining. There's always a rainbow at the end of every journey and tunnel. So I love y'all, and I want to thank you guys so much for being here, for all of my subscribers, for everybody that comes in and tunes back and loves on me. Thank you guys so much. It's actually just recently been my birthday. My daughter made me some really sweet bracelets. So gosh, you guys make my heart smile so much. All of your kind comments. We are like a family, we're a community here. So here you can be positive and kind and loving towards one another, and we do our best to always leave kind comments and just to pray for one another, because hey, life is hard enough. Let's make a safe space where we guys can all hang out and craft and decorate. I also have a free little Facebook group page if you guys are brave enough to share photos of your home decor and DIY projects that you've been inspired to do or that you're creating. Everybody is so fun over there, and everybody gets so many fun ideas from one another. So you guys pop over there, request to join. I'll approve your request. You guys can start posting away just photos of your home decor and DIY projects. Okay, I love y'all. I'm hugging all of your hearts so tight. I'm wishing you a gorgeous, fabulous, blessed weekend no matter where you're at. Love on each other, have fun crafting and decorating, and I can't wait for next week's videos. Until then, remember, be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another. We'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye-bye.